It's it's been a really tough day. I think we've all known and this was coming, but it doesn't make it any easier. I think back in Pearl, Washington, when I first saw him play, I thought he was the most exciting player I've ever seen play the game of basketball. I still think that today. I think we've been fortunate. We've had a lot of great players, but I think there's really only one. There's just only one guy like him. And, he was a really humble guy, and he not only helped make our program, he helped make the Big East, and he helped college basketball. He was a guy that everybody wanted to see play. People in California who didn't know me when I went out there, the next year when Pearl was a freshman, they all knew that I was Pearl Washington's coach. He had an unbelievable effect on our program, and yeah, he was an unbelievably humble guy, and it's tough to lose him so soon. Okay, I'll take a couple questions.
What was the last time you were with Pearl? What was that like for you?
Well, I knew he's been bad. The last I talked to him on the phone just after we were going to go to we made the Final Four. He could barely respond just a little bit, but he was excited that we were going to go. That the year we finished, how the year finished, he was excited about it. He was excited that our players were wearing the shirts. His shirts, it meant a lot to him. I thought it was a great thing for our players to do. I think they just wanted to do it. I don't remember anybody. I didn't tell them. I don't know if anybody told them to wear them. They just wanted to wear them, and I think that meant a lot. I think when you see what guys like Chris Mullen and Patrick say about him, I think it says a lot about him.
What did he mean to you personally? You talked about the program, the Big East, you
Personally, he's just a great kid. I mean, our players that play here are like family, but it's like any family. You get closer to some guys, some family than others. Just the way it works. He was just, he just always was never about Pearl. It was never about what he did or didn't do. He just a unique player, but really a unique person, and I just think that we were lucky to have him. I was very lucky to have him, coach him.
You mentioned how great of a person he is. How much did that enhance the legacy of this amazing player?
Well, to me, it's what you are. That's what's important. And we've had a lot of great people, a lot of great players, great people. And Pearl is, he's just unique. Really, it's a word I don't like to use. He's a unique player. He brought something to people. People wanted to watch him. The Dome was relatively new, and I don't know the numbers, but when Pearl came, the numbers changed, and people wanted to come to see him play. I mean, they wanted to come to see Syracuse, but they wanted to come to see Pearl Washington. My two sons and I stay up at night till 10:30 at night, many nights, to watch Steph Curry play, because he's just not a player. He's different. He's exciting. People tell me all the time that's what they stayed up to watch Pearl Washington, or they made a point to watch Pearl Washington play. I've had great players, Tim Hardaway for one, come up to me and says, I learned my move, crossover, watching Pearl. That's where I got it. From many players have told me that.
Coach, a lot of your former players, Derek Coleman, among them, said Pearl's the reason they came to Syracuse. Can you talk about how he...
There's no doubt. I mean, his excitement, what he did on the court, that's what got people excited about Syracuse basketball. And from that, everything flows. Derek Coleman and Carmelo Anthony, it all flows down that same path. And, he did a lot for this program on and off the court in terms of what it was going to be. And it was all the start when Pearl came here in the Big East and the Carrier Dome, everything came together. And he's the only guy that could just overnight fill a place like that. People wanted to be there. And he's the only player that I've ever kind of watched during a game instead of watching what I'm supposed to be watching.
Coach, what kind of coaching did it take to make Pearl a better player?
Pearl knew, you just had to give Pearl the framework, and he understood what he needed to do within that framework, and he was unselfish. You get a player like that, you just have to get him in the framework and don't try to do too much with him. Let him play, let him have the freedom that he needs to be effective. And, and he did that. He was a difficult guy. The Big East was at its peak then, and he was the toughest guy in the league to guard. I don't think there's any question about that.
Can you take us through the first time you watched him play and through the recruitment of Pearl and getting him to come here?
Well, the first time I saw him was in the Wheelchair Classic in Brooklyn. I got there at 7 o'clock for a 9 o'clock game. He was going to play about 9 o'clock, I think. There were people there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was, he was young. He was a sophomore going into his junior year, and the seniors play. They have one sophomore or two sophomores play for each borough. People were standing there for hours. When he came out, the place was electric. It was electric. He just everybody staying, nobody sitting in the building. And the first time I saw him, I think he had 46. He just, against seniors, he just destroyed everybody. He's just that kind of player. And I haven't seen anything like that before or since.
Jerry, how did it make you feel that maybe some of the younger guys on this year's team really took to those T-shirts and took to kind of honoring him, even though they may have only known him?
I thought it was great, the players. Like I said, I just saw them wear them. I didn't even know how they got them or what they were thinking, or if somebody, I never told them to wear them. They just wore them and they kept wearing them. And I think people know the legend. There aren't really many legends.
I'm thinking of backward by his humility. A lot of people talk about him. Do you expect the New York City point guard to be brash?
Yeah, he was just completely different off the court. I don't think people understood that for a while. He never was about that. It was never about that. He was as humble as anybody I've ever known. Anybody. No. He's one of a kind. We're fortunate that we had him here.